detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff their pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess. Before things fall apart and the riot starts. Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation. Go. To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas. A dog on the knees. And I'm begging, go now. They try to stick me with rage me. Go now. They have more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. That's why I'm singing. Go now. Please, Mrs. Pamela. Go now. Take Munila and Sharma. Go now. Please. Them and them minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick. Swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat-eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni. Sweet man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And it was awful, gone through it to pull. Don't need a big mouth to tell them go. Watch her and see they just follow now. Before we regret tomorrow, please. You're setting a bad example. Family values they trample. Go. It's only vice they desire now. Before the 5 years expire. Like a dog with fleas, a dog on the knees. And I'm bleeding go now. Before we end in bankruptcy. Before they empty the treasury. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm bleeding go now. Immediately. And don't forget your AG go now. Please. Love to quarrel, always oral, highly immoral. They let the good doctor starve to death. Used to court him, once support him, no road to point for him. But once in power, they quickly forget. They love confrontation, so no mediation. The case by the Privy Council, but the warriors is settled. You see, you could make a fortune filling up a lagoon. The environment is boost out these people too. Is why I want them go. With them old lies they peddling now. It's only PR they selling. They wouldn't tell me the whole truth. The man just wanted a root. Before they carve out a mountain. Before the cost we start counting. Like a dog with fleas, a dog on the knees. And I beg it go now. Always get the contract. Who profit from the kickback? Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing go now. Tell Munila and Surush. It's best they seek refuge. Go now, please. You tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, ear to ear. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over. They unleash their lawyer, set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley.
But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw.
I don't need come close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle
Now,
stop fooling the people.
please,
The country taking and beating. So me plea are repeating.
go.
They like a natural disaster.
Now.
10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas
And
and
down on their knees.
And I'm begging, go now, we and I did one week.
Go now.
From the side to the country, streets turn into rivers, then
And
into
into
seas.
seas.
Is why I'm singing, go now. This is my humble petition.
Go now.
Announce the date for election. Go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess.
Before things fall apart and the riot starts.
Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation.
Go.
To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas
And
and
down on their knees.
And I'm begging,
Go
they try
now.
to stick me with rage me.
Go now.
They have more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then
And
into
into seas.
That's why I'm singing.
Go now.
Please, Mrs. Kamla,
Go now.
take Munila and Sharma. Go now, please. Them and their minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick. Swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat-eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni. Sweet man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And it was awful,
Gone through it to pull.
don't need a big mouth to tell them go. Watch her and see they does follow.
Now,
Before we regret tomorrow, please. You're setting a bad example. Family values they trample.
go.
It's only vice they desire.
Now.
Before the 5 years expire, like a dog with fleas and
Down on their knees.
and a bleeding road. Now before we end in bankruptcy,
now.
before they empty the treasury, streams turn into rivers, then
And
into
into seas.
is why I'm bleeding road.
Now,
Immediately,
Go now.
and don't forget your AG go.
now,
Please. You tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, ear to ear. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over. They unleash their lawyer, set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley.
but they wouldn't sue the false paper screw.
I don't need come close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle.
Now,
Stop fooling the people. The
please,
country taking and beating. So me plea are repeating.
on their knees.
And a begging food. Now we enacted one we prophesy to the country, streets turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing. Now this is my humble petition. Announce the date for election. Go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance?
Yes, Igwe.
Peace, my brother. Devon Ogo.
Not too bad. Bless evening, everyone.
Igwe.
Daddy.
The art of defending the indefensible. Independent talk for Sunday 23rd September 2024. Grenada is my constituency. Real FM is my parliament, and I'm the people's spokesperson, blessed and protected by the Ancient of Days. My purpose here is to bring people the facts. Facts check me. Facts has only one side. Opinion matters not. What you do with the facts is a matter entirely for you. I'm here to advocate for true justice, even when it doesn't affect us personally. Justice delayed is justice denied. I'm here to advocate for those who cannot do it for themselves. Don't matter what happens from here on in, truth and justice will always be on my side. History will record me on the right side. I'm here to bring hope to those who are hurting by the actions of this government. Our currency and legal tender is unvarnished information, truth, and facts. Real media, new concept in media. Where shame is absent, anything could happen. Devon, I hope we have a few things we want to unpack today. We have to ask the question, who running the country? And we're going to ask some questions and bring some information. We must speak to the MIT guy. I have some questions to ask your parliamentary representative in connection with the grants for fisher folks and farmers and boat engine and things. People tell me to ask him. And we go ask an appraisal of this government in the area of health, agriculture, disaster management, youth, and one of the promises they make out, parallel public service and permanent. But before we do that, we go have Sunday conversations. The art of defending the indefensible. Finally, the calls are coming from all quarters of the NDC to their supporters, particularly those who got high-end jobs after the last election. Because we heard from the most fractious motivational speaker and others, threatening and saying who has to go and so on. The calls coming from the yellow-mouthed PCs is to defend Deacon's government at all costs or face the penalty of losing the opportunity. Worse yet, they are reminded that before June 2022, they were broke, on the breadline, and beggy and hungry mouth. So they must do all in their power to keep Deacon in power to save their own asses. Not to protect the interests of the country, but to protect the enrichment of a chosen few. How can a minister of finance be defended when he came to the public meeting? He was unaware about the particulars of the new pension scheme proposed by government, and the parties that were engaged in discussion blatantly lying that the unions were involved, a notion that was refuted vehemently by the unions. adding insult to injury. He could not shed any light on the cost of the new Build Back Better houses in Carriacou and called on Do Everything Minister Extraordinaire, to give details. It's either the Minister of Finance is getting early dementia or he is clueless as to his responsibility as Minister for Finance, or maybe old people drag bam bam on him for supporting squeezing the necks of the vulnerable. How can the Deacon Mitchell be defended when he forego the Ministry of Housing and place $15 million in the hand of a confessed thief to manage the affair of housing? A minister who has no technical knowledge in the discipline. There's something odd about this particular minister and deacon. He seems to have obvious extra power and authority. When will certified fellas like Toes, Telesford and Cornwall are left hanging? Something is definitely not sitting well. How can number 10 be defended when she blatantly lied on GBN to the point saying that the houses built by the Chinese requested by Dr. Mitchell's government were handed over to Housing Authority when she herself handed the houses to the needy and vulnerable in Carriacou before the election? The funny thing is, these ministers misrepresent the truth, knowing fully well that it can be fact-checked instantly. So it is a lying compulsion that has permeated a just over 2 years old government. How can the Deacon Mitchell government be defended on the callous, inept manner the burial disaster was handled, particularly in Carriacou and Pitimatnik? Not one plan executed to save the dignity of the people. No education plan for the children. No recovery effort on behalf of the destitute and vulnerable who are unable to fend for themselves. What shall the defenders say about the new appointed ambassador finding a sweet spot, handling a salary of over 45 grand, while the people of Carriacou suffer? Well, great for him. His children are living in La Vida Loca, a private school, while school feeding program is in shambles. Tell me where the defenders find words to defend a pay hike of 120% for ministers before they did any work, while robbing the poor and aged of the $150. How would they defend the spending of over $2 million to host CARICOM heads when the islands of Carriacou and Pitimatnik were declared disaster areas, misusing the taxpayers' money to plaster the face of Prime Minister Mitchell everywhere as though he has won a gold medal? On top of that, it is the obvious attack on the media. While the Media Association sleeps peacefully, there are calls for the pulling of government ads from certain media houses perceived to be anti-Deacon in an effort to silence calls for change and justice. The NDC is forgetting that the government serves all the people, not some, and that we are all taxpayers. I tell you most solemnly that Deacon Mitchell and his gang will pay a hefty price. If you can remember Tillman Thomas, the Prime Minister then, between 2008 and 2013, 4 years, 7 months, and 19 days, made similar calls for the supporters to defend the crap his government was doing at the time. They are all calls of desperation. Like Paul King Douglas say, if you joined in, shout. Deacon is warned that the calls for fairness and justice in this country will continue. The calls for the end to corruption will continue. The calls for proper support of our brothers and sisters suffering in Carriacou will get louder. The calls for support for farmers affected by burial will get more forceful. Tell Deacon the black pepper will burn he and his misfit eventually. The calls to defend could never cover the cries of the people suffering in Grenada. Long live the voice of the oppressed. This piece was put together to speak to recent developments. Yes, Devon.
Well, a blessed afternoon to all our listeners and viewers. Master Carl Igwe. And so, well, again, it's a pleasure to be here twinning with you. And so, to bring information, much needed information to the people of this country. And so, without programs like this, right, our people will be starved of the truth, right? So many things are going on in this country that is unacceptable. So much corrupted practices, nepotism, all these things are taking place in our country at a time when our people need, right, that support, right, to get by. When you look at the people of Carriacou, look at what they are going through, right? When you see the situation in the Ministry of Health. As a matter of fact, we have a serious issue going on in our general hospital and our hospitals. As a matter of fact, we have seen untimely death by some young persons in the last couple of weeks, babies, and just recently, right, our good friend Sheshe, good afternoon, and our condolences to you and your family in the loss of your son, and the Ministry of Health need to pay attention much more, right, of the doings in the hospitals, right? There are a lot of negligence that is happening, caused by, in my view, right, the inactiveness, right, of the Minister of Health and this government to ensure that our nurses and doctors and workers at the different health facilities are properly prepared and have the support that they need to carry out their duties, right? We want to build multi-million-dollar new hospital, which will take years to build, but in the meantime, the health conditions, the health situation in our country is deplorable. It's getting worse, right? The cries for lack of medication, for lack of good service, right around our country, right, is echoed all over, right? And it is so sad to know what our people are going through, and a lot of us are silent. Some of us are afraid to talk of what is going on around us, right? Fear of victimization. And so either you'll lose your job or your family will lose your jobs. And that is real. That is going on here. Because you hear those activists and so of the NDC all over threatening their own supporters, threatening workers and telling them if they don't support the Deacon administration, government, if they do not support them, what will happen to them? And so it's amazing that the lengths that as a people we will go, right, to destroy one another, all in the name of power. All in the name of power. The people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique, I continue to empathize with you and your situation. What is going on with you? The lack of any movement of support and help to you by this present government. right? I mean, it's loud out there to see the conditions that our people, after 2 months, our people in Karakou and Petit Martinique are still under. Understand? Under houses with tarpaulins bararong. You understand? I mean, this is crazy. You have only around 7,000 people that you have to assist. One constituency. And over 2 months now, right? No sense of normalcy was brought to the people of Karakou and Petit Martinique. Only talk and talk and talk. Shame on you guys. The housing situation is so much. You have 100 units of houses there in Karakou, and yet you have persons from Karakou and Petit Martinique still out there in the elements, and these houses are empty. I mean, it's a shame on you government ministers and to the parliamentary representative of Karakou and Petit Martinique, right? To see how you continue to treat the persons who ensured that you represent them in the House of Parliament. How can you treat your brothers and sisters like that while you sit down and lavish and drink and marry in yourself? Persons in Karakou still cannot able to put up a piece of galvanized, a majority of them, right, to take care of their situation. No help, but you're talking about Build Back Better. Build Back Better will take years. What about now? The people need their support now. They need your help. They need government to step in. Government don't have to find money to do anything for them. There is money readily available. 14 days after the disaster, you had $118 million readily available for government to ensure that the people affected by burial is being taken care of. Up to this day, right? Only a few people is benefiting from that. That is a shame. As we move on today, we will continue to share information when it comes, right, to the deplorable situation that is going on in Karakou and a number of other situations taking place in our country. Master Carl?
Yes, let's take a break, Igwe, and come back.
Tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, yes, yeah. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over, they unleash the lawyer. Set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley.
But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw.
I don't need come close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle
Now,
Stop fooling the people. The country taking and beating. So me plea are repeating.
go
They're like a natural disaster.
Now.
10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas
and
and
tongue on the knees.
And I begging go now we and I did one week. From the side to the country, streets turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing go now. This is my humble petition. And as it did for election, go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the concerned commerce, we get no recess.
Before things fall apart and the riot starts.
Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation.
Go
To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage, like a dog with fleas and down on the knees.
Yes, Igwe.
The question is, Igwe, who running this country? Because we asked that question in the piece. Who running this country, and the finance minister and so on. So play that piece, that clip there for us, Igwe. You have some challenges?
Minister,
Not really. Something.
the Minister of Agriculture mentioned 11 points. My question for the Minister for Agriculture is actually linked to what the Minister of Finance would have said. The Minister of Agriculture mentioned $11.6 million that will be distributed, utilized to the average farmer or the fisher folks. Can he tell us whether or not the money for the fisher folk is from the CREF course funding premium that we have? And would if the money for the agricultural people, is this from the CREF funding or the emergency funding and Section 22 of the Public Management Act? And when will government be going to the Parliament to get the necessary approval to supplementary budget?
All right, thank you, Linda, for your question. But actually, the best person to answer that is the Minister of Finance, not the Minister of Agriculture. Anytime you talk about money, you have to go to the Minister of Finance, you know. But be that as it may,
Start that over again for me.
First of all, let me see.
My question for the Minister for Agriculture is actually linked to what the Minister of Finance would have said. The Minister of Agriculture mentioned $11.6 million that will be distributed, utilized to the average farmer or the fisher folks. Can he tell us whether or not the money for the fisher folk is from the CREF course funding premium that we have? And would if the money for the agricultural people, is this from the CREF funding or the emergency funding and Section 22 of the Public Management Act? And when will government be going to the Parliament to get the necessary approval to supplementary budget?
All right, thank you, Linda, for your question. But actually, the best person to answer that is the Minister of Finance, not the Minister of Agriculture. Anytime you talk about money, you have to go to the Minister of Finance.
Okay.
You know? But that as it.
You hear you say the best person to ask about that is the Minister of Finance. Give us the next clip again, Igwe. Not the same one, the next one.
A pleasant good night, everyone. Wayne Mitchell. I would like to ask any member of the head table, but I think since it has to do with finances, Minister of Finance would probably be able to answer this. I have not heard anything in regards to specifics for the cost of building one of those homes. So I would like to have an estimate in regards to the cost of building one of those homes. But also I would like to have an idea of the actual size, for example, of the 3-bedroom house. Thank you very much.
Okay, so because the question you asked speak to the specific size and cost of the house, I'll let somebody in the Ministry of MIT or the housing or even the technicians on the head table to give you those details. I do not want to give you information that I am not.
Play that again. Play it back with Dennis.
I would like to have an idea of the actual size, for example, of the 3-bedroom house.
MIT run things.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so because the question you asked speak to the specific size and cost of the house, I'll let somebody in the Ministry of MIT or the housing or even the technicians on the head table to give you those details. I do not want to give you information.
So, in my piece, all year round, because you see we connect any things on them, Devon, how could the Honorable Deacon Mitchell defend when he forego the Ministry of Housing and place $15 million in the hand of a confessed thief to manage the affairs of housing. A minister who has no technical knowledge, who told the nation he has no original ideas. There's something odd. This particular minister and deacon seems to have something. When all certified fellas like Toes, Telesford, and Cornwall are left hanging, something is definitely wrong. So I play 2 clips. The first one was with Lennox Andrews, aka Toes. He said he don't know any matters of finance. Ask the finance minister. That's what Toes say. So we had the finance minister when the guy asked him about costs. He say he don't know. The minister of finance say to ask Mr. Know-it-all, the confessed thief. So who running the thing?
MIT.
MIT run things.
We had the receipts. Yeah. Because Tool say what? When they ask him the thing in agriculture thing, he say, I don't know. Yes. Anything about money. Ask Dennis. Dennis try to answer. When they ask Dennis how the cost, Dennis say, I don't know. The Minister of Finance don't know how the money is spending. But yet still, he was on some program trying to defend. Dennis, what happened to you? Wait for me to put my foot in my mouth. You are not listening.
Dennis, don't wish people foot go in their mouth. And you can't deny it. We had a
so when these things happening, Dennis, we must scrutinize. We must criticize your policies, Dennis, because they don't know, and the only qualified fellas is you and Tozy. But 2 of all they don't know. They are bad sign, Devon. The 2 person who should know
don't know.
And somebody tell me to ask 2 of them together with the leader of government business in the Senate if they are receiving pension, a government pension. Because the people say
they could do that?
I don't know. The people tell me to ask that. They were asking him. The people want to know if you, Lennox Andrew, and the leader of government business
Telesford
in the Senate.
Oh, in the Senate, sorry. Adrian Thomas.
Don't call no name. Leave it like that. The leader of government business. We know who he is. We want to know if all are receiving pension. So all the old talk about NNP didn't paying pension. Tell us. But then again, 2 of them say they don't know. Devon. Why is your case? My representative and yours?
Yeah.
Who's supposed to be the most qualified persons in the administration? Yeah. Don't know. And a confessed thief. Because they tell Lennox Andrews say he don't know. Ask the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance say he don't know. Ask a confessed thief.
Yeah, a man with no original ideas.
So what going on?
A man who have business at bossing up.
They found a sweet spot?
Yeah, they found a sweet spot. They found a sweet spot like in the diplomatic arena.
So we must point out the inefficiencies, Dennis, and the maladministration.
But remember to say you have a lot of money, you know.
But no, he say you don't know. He say ask Dennis.
He say we have a lot of money.
Then Dennis say you don't know. He say ask Andy.
Well,
ask Handy.
How you go expect to get an honest answer from the Okrohan? You understand? A man who confess openly to the nation.
So he could have gone in jail.
You understand? Of his dealings and everything like that. And the Prime Minister sees fit to trust this character with the nation's business. I mean, and lots of money, millions of dollars.
But the 2 most qualified persons in the government who worked in the public service before, Ministry of Finance ought to have known what we see here, and there is the empirical evidence, the clips, that their words. Lennox Andrews say he don't know. Matters of money asks Mr. Cornwall. When he asks Mr. Cornwall matters of money and cost for housing, he say he don't know. Ask Andy, the same one who is a self-proclaimed thief. The same one who told the nation, I don't have no original ideas. How could this be possible?
Oh, the chances we take as a people to put these characters to govern our
So I'm still calling on Mr. Cornwall, arrest the situation and make the damn maths. But that is so sad. You was on GBN fighting to tell the nation the damn maths in. Yeah. Amanda in a from ask you to maths the maths, you telling it you don't know. Ask Andy. And the technical people are on the table. And so how you know the maths in when you don't know? You they fighting the damn maths in. But when they call on you to match the maths, you defer. Also, that's the same thing they just do when they in cabinet or those guys. They just recuse. You try to recuse the Minister of Finance on a matter of the government purse and money spending for housing 15 million. He say he don't know. Yeah. But he was on GBN trying to defend it. Because the damn maths in. Then it's make the maths. So ask the question again by the man asked them. Because then he's listening now, so you go on to the point or somewhere this coming we can make the maths. So please lay the question the man asked.
Good night, everyone. Wayne Mitchell. I would like to ask any member of the head table, but I think since it has to do with finances, Minister of Finance would probably be able to answer.
Yes. Make the maths.
I have not heard anything in regards to specifics for the cost of building one of those homes. So I would like to have an estimate in regards to the cost of building one of those homes. But also I would like to have an idea of the actual size, for example, of the 3-bedroom house. Thank you very much.
I don't know. The question you asked speak to the specific size and cost of the house. I'll let somebody in the Ministry of MIT or the housing or even the technicians on the head table to give you those details. I do not want to give you information that I am not privy to.
If you're not privy to the information, Dennis,
right. So
make a better try. Get straight me.
The dimension of the house is 27 by 22.
MIT, boy.
No, we're ready for MIT yet. We go just now. So Dennis, make a better try. Please stop the mama guy and make the maths. Because I say the maths in. The damn maths in. That damn maths don't maths in, Dennis. You don't know. You playing dummy, do not know. Try playing domino. And all you're talking about the damn maths in. And you're studying. You're letting a simple guy like me be in your head. When you go on the media, you have to make reference to what I say. I can't think an ordinary guy like me. Ordinary roof sticker kind of senior. Every time you go, you have to try to, anything I talk out, you have to go and try to debunk it. Dennis, you have bigger things to do. You have more important matters to address. Like making the maths. Because you don't know. One simple question about the size of the house and the cost of the house, you the Minister of Finance, you don't know. But I never heard things so yet. So, okay. If you don't know that, Dennis, come on the radio and tell us what you know. What's the number to call again?
4420175.
Call 4420175 and tell us what you know. And make the maths. We waiting on the call. Because you and Lennox Andrew should know all your qualification or certification or certified persons who should know. They still ask if you're getting pension, I don't know. They say to ask all of that. See if you're enjoying a government pension, I don't know.
But people like Dennis and them, you can't take, they lie so damn much, eh? You can't take what they, sorry, the parliamentary representative, you know.
But if you like damn right.
Yeah, they lie so much. When they would come on same GBN and tell the nation that, you know, he and the Prime Minister, they didn't see no problem with ministers getting loan from GDB. And you, the Minister of Finance, you are senior public officer. You know the rules that govern the GDB.
You in tongue long.
You in tongue long.
Since cow tongue was $1 a pound, you was in tongue.
You understand? For you and the Prime Minister to come out and talk such crap. I mean, the people should throw you all out one time. You understand? You guys continue to use ways and means to pilfer the nation's money. You understand? By playing all your dummy don't know and don't understand that the laws that govern the Grenada Development Bank. But again, you know, what do you say? What do people say?
Every bar pig have his Saturday.
Yeah. One day Congo tea.
So Devon, who is running this country? Because if one qualified finance guy, when they ask him about money, he say he don't know. But you have some questions we have to ask him still. Then, the next one, because Lennox Andrew say ask Dennis Canal. Yeah. Because that thing.
Deflection.
When they ask Dennis Canal, he say ask Andy.
I wonder why Andy will say
or the other persons on the head table. Yeah. Because he don't want to speak to information he don't privy to. But how the finance minister could don't know about the spending of government?
That is a serious problem.
Yeah.
That man should lose his work one time.
Yeah, he's the one that's supposed to sign off, you know.
The man arguing to incompetence and maladministration and inefficiency. He admitted to the nation that he inefficient. Yeah. But like I always warn him, my friend Devon, I just talk to him, but like he doesn't listen to me.
He don't listen.
And I warn him that intoxication does cause hallucination, which manufactures fabrication and creates delusion, which causes wrong direction. I always warning you, bro.
Yeah. And you go on GBN and hallucinating, and you see what's going on?
So somebody say when they hear him on GBN, they ball rum, eh?
Rum.
I don't know that what they say.
Where you
they
do?
Say, yeah. Rum, eh?
Yeah. Where you do? I mean,
yes, Devon, true you, because you parliamentary representative, true you. The people want to know if the part of the CRIF facilities are the insurance money, simply put. If at any time did he receive any grant
from the CRIF?
Yeah, from the CRIF facility.
Well, that ask me MP that. MP? Talk to me, MP.
The people ask if he knows or have any information about some vessel named Havana. Have you ever been to Havana? Because Quincy and them they in Havana?
Yeah, Quincy and the president of the Senate and them they in Havana.
So I want to know if you ever been to Havana, or if you know about Havana, or if you know about any vessel named Havana.
Or have you been to Havana?
The people want to know. Then the people ask if you are in possession of 3 outboard engines.
But how come that is my parliamentary rep and I don't know in that and you know in that?
They want to know if you are anyone on Havana, and if 2 or 1 is under any house, you might be domiciled. Because the people want to know, so the people want to know those questions Mr. Andrew. Because a lot of farmers and fisher folk bawling for assistance in the thing.
And they can't get it.
So they want to know if you have any knowledge of such. So they say call a press conference.
Yeah. So it's a pattern, Mr. Carl, with a couple of these ministers having warehouses and storeroom, equipments and everything.
All of a sudden.
You know, not to say they business people. I never know my MP to be a businessman. Neither.
So they want to know if you know any outboard engines.
I know he lives in Suez. And I mean, Suez.
Because,
I mean,
because he's a servant of the people.
Yeah, Suez is a fishing village, so it's possible he might have some information about the vessel Havana, or if he been to Havana.
I don't know.
So
either right now, so either he have money, or he living in harmony.
Good afternoon to all the friends and listeners in the village.
Because we have some questions to ask them today. So, the parliamentary representative for St. Patrick's West, the people want to know if you know of any storehouse in the constituency of St. Patrick's. They want to know if you have any generators or engines or cement or chainsaws or weed eaters. And if
for sale or for this,
I don't know, they say if any business so could be done.
So
the people of St. David's are asking the same question. If there's any storehouse with generators and so on. So and those things, and they want to know if these storehouses was there before Ivan
burial.
Before burial or after burial. And you know, maybe the other one body is near, you know. What is Janet body?
Today is Janet body.
It's 22nd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Today is Janet body.
So, remember one time in Jamaica after Gilbert passed, you hear much Jamaicans with things, they say, you see me new stereo, Gilbert give me. You see me fridge, Gilbert give me. So maybe you see the generator, Gilbert give me. You see them both engine, burial give me. See them chainsaw, burial give me.
So that's why all over Facebook I see persons advertising chainsaw
for sale.
And for sale and all them kind of things. So you have a
and
warehouse.
And bogus receipts they presenting. Bogus, so they have to pull it down one time when people think.
Yeah. Why?
And now that store is
that's
maybe in Mardi Gras.
Yeah, right. Going into the entrance of Mardi Gras somewhere around there, I talk about it.
My good friends in Mardi Gras call me and ask if you have any storeroom up there too.
Yeah.
With chainsaw and generator.
I have a good friend up there. What's his name again, boy? Oh my God.
Don't call nobody name.
When I remember his name, I'll call him and ask him to find out.
So they just plunder the resources
of the state.
Of this country. And that is sad, Devon.
And in so many ways that they are plundering the resources.
I have another question to ask my representative, Mr. Dennis Cornwall. Are you a CBI agent? Or are you the beneficial owner to CBI agency? Because
that's fair game.
You holding the Minister or Ministry of Finance because you just indicated to the nation you don't know what's going on. You're inefficient. Can they ask you out houses? You come with supplemental, but you don't know how much for the cost of things. That is why when you add up the supplemental with the 15 million, only for 10 million they could account for, and the other 5 gone in thin air. So you, Mr. Con, are you, because the question I need to ask, I must find out if you are still a CBI agent or if you are a beneficial owner of CBI agency. Because you see, whenever an investor under the CBI arrangement need any concessions, he or she has to go to the Minister of Finance. You have to call quid pro quo, something for something. So that is why I'm curious, and the people want to know if you is, because there is no provision for that investor to go to somebody, because you can't say you go recuse yourself. Who will this investor go to when they need concessions? Because in recent days, when Auntie Jenny boss the mark, the defenders say the gentleman is bringing in investment into Grenada. So I sit in my chair and say, well, if the gentleman bringing in millions of dollars in investment, as the defenders saying, well, they're going to need concession and they have to go to the Minister of Finance. And we still don't know, because we know he was. We don't know if he still is. And we don't know if the company is still there and he benefiting. Because if he's a beneficial owner and he's the Minister of Finance, and investors who come to the Minister of Finance,
They go work in your favor.
and check for things, the investor might as well come to you as an agent.
Street, yeah. And, they have to
And
go through
then,
this thing.
with all the talk about corruption, corruption. Because we talk about corruption earlier in the piece. Because we call it on the end of corruption. But if the Prime Minister didn't trust all you, and by the way, that's the best paid government ever in Grenada.
Yeah, man.
All other government will walk the soul off. Though benefit like these guys and them.
Serious benefits, you know. And not just in cash, but in kind.
Well, the generator and chains and them.
Yeah.
So we want to know if you is still a CBI agent or if you're a beneficial owner of any CBI agencies. Because the investors have to come to you. Because they go on concessions, we want to know how you go treat with. The second person, the Prime Minister, we must ask if he is still a CBI agent or if he is a beneficial owner of any CBI agency. Because, Devon, we ask this question in the light of corruption. Because he is the chairman of cabinet. And cabinet determines how the CBI program is run. And he, being the Minister of National Security, is the one who gives final approval.
Right.
So if I'm applying for CBI agency and I know that man is an agent, or he have an agency, or he's a beneficial owner,
He are going to.
he are checking.
Yeah. Cut all the red tape.
So this thing is fraught with corruption.
Begging to be investigated.
Then Dennis, based on the amount of money that someone applies for and receive at GDB, you must get involved as well as the government, the cabinet. So this is $1 million and thing men does get. They can the GDB board just can't give that money.
No, they can't. It must go to cabinet.
So whilst we had that, Dennis, because you could make maths. All that we asking you is to make the maths. Dennis, is any member of the board presently have an application for any loans at GDB? And if so, because you don't say the regulation is not for that. I didn't know you is a legal luminary, but you think. So we can say the legislation is not for that.
It's not.
So make the maths. Because board members, and you have board member who was on other program. who did not deny getting loan from GDB, and ministers get, and the same man who should know. You see, the reason I'm speaking to Lennox Andrew and Dennis Carnwell, they are the two persons who should know.
Senior public servants.
We want to know if Lennox Andrew at any time in the last 2 years receive any loans from GDB.
You know, ironic, you know, those two guys in particular, right?
They should know.
Yeah, they have to know because they spent most of their careers in the public service in the Ministry of Finance.
Because listen to the antecedents of these two guys. When the CRIF negotiations was on, they were privy to it, so they know.
Yeah.
So when they sat on that Kirin tag, they set a tata.
Oh God, they
set a Gibrich, and none of them to pull Kirin's skirt and say, girl, no. You realize these guys and them something wrong. Maybe that why they can do. Maybe that, oh shit. They were asking the question why Deacon forgo and giving Andy ranks on this fellas them. Deacon know they do good. Because if they knew all the CRIF arrangement and all the talk about pension, the people want to know if two of them getting pension.
Yeah.
You gotta say NNP didn't pay in pension.
Yeah,
so the people want to know if all are getting pension because all the talk about pension.
Yeah. But these guys, I mean, I don't understand. Two senior ministers who are part of the negotiation with CRIF sit right there and listen to a green minister, right? I mean, all of them is green, but in terms of experience, talk that set of crap and nonsense with confidence, and none of them do interrupt or stand up on a point of order and say, my good friend. And even the Prime Minister, you understand? Even the Prime Minister who knows better would not. So that means, well, he himself worthless too to Kirin. Yeah, the Prime Minister worthless too because he complimented her in what she was saying.
Well, the Prime Minister don't know. 1 year ago, when Linda Stricker asked him about the CRIF, he didn't know it.
He didn't know nothing about it.
If you see his face,
yeah.
And the distractors below the live cursing Linda, you know, and saying what kind of question she asking.
And you see that? Couple of months after it come right into
how could the Honorable Deacon Mitchell be defended? Well, he know Lennox Andrew and Carnwell do good. Because if they know people are getting pension under the NNP and they say NNP didn't pay in pension, you have to know they do good.
Yeah.
If they know about the CRIF discussions and they let Kirin talk that Gibrich, they do good.
Yeah. That's why I have no respect. And I would never call these guys honorable. They're dishonorable.
So Dennis, call the station and make the maths. Right, give me the number again, Igor.
4420175.
We challenge you to call it and make the maths.
Yeah. A school child say they went for help by him and they need a little repair in the house. He say he can help.
So when these two guys who's supposed to be in the know,
no excuse for them.
Make the maths then is the minimum wage. Yeah. Them men are working on the road.
Make it math.
Them caretakers in schools. Them cooks and them make the maths Dennis.
Yep.
Because the damn maths do maths in.
The minimum wage is $60. You're still paying workers that work in government $40-something a day. What kind of hypocrisy and worthlessness is that by you guys? They're maths in, Dennis. Come on. And you the Minister of Finance. The maths might be maths in for all you when all you could pay the school fees for a particular businessman who representing Grenada in a diplomatic circle. The maths in for all you.
And retroactive happening, but they're telling the police they can't pay them retroactive for pay and grade.
They can't get retroactive. Yeah? How could I sit here and call these guys honorable? Huh? When in 2 years, yeah, you add $7,000 plus on your salary. Yet for all you give the union 4 and 5%, and I understand now that they have to renegotiate with that 5%. You understand? I mean, how can you guys be honorable? In 2 years, you just get here and you raise your salary, your salary. You didn't do nothing yet by 7,100 over 100%. And the trade union sit on like some dummy. Right? Like dummy don't know. And want to settle for the 4 and 5 and so percent. You understand? Come on, Mr. Grimes and Andre Lewis and y'all. People had to beg all to come out and say something about what this government is doing. They're hiking their salary. They didn't have to go through negotiations, They take the salary, take the money on their own. And you guys not even defending that. Come on, man. You guys need to do better than that. Friends is friends. But when it comes to the nation's business, where money is concerned, especially you, the trade union, bosses, and organizations, especially you all should be standing up in defense of the government's coffers. I don't understand you, and people want me to call these guys honorable. They're dishonorable because they continue to pilfer from the Grenadian people.
Dennis, make the maths for the $2.5 million used in heads of government conference and telling the people and the nurses in Carriacou they getting paid on by water. Yeah. Make the maths. Yeah. And all they put up a set of things like tombstones.
Right after burial, 2 something million.
Like the guy was in the Olympics and he win medal.
Igwe.
Hey.
Our next school child see that they went to Dennis. School child see that them is only 18 years old. Mother not walking further do they wrong. They go for a little palm a little pull out. You see you can do that. And the second one.
Yeah.
They're doing well.
One cuckoo that's
They're
full
doing
of
good. They're doing good. Yeah, keep it up.
One cuckoo that's full of basket.
Keep it up, man.
Understand? They continue to doing
let's take a small break and come back.
Foolishness.
Tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, ear to ear. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over, they unleash their lawyer. Set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley.
But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw.
I don't need come close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle
now.
Stop fooling the people. The country taking a beating. So my plea are repeating.
Go.
They're like a natural disaster.
Now.
10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas
and tongue on the knees.
And I'm begging now we and out in one week. Prophesy to the country, streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing. Now this is my humble petition. Another day for election. Go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the concerned commerce, we get no recess.
Before things fall apart and the riot starts.
Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later.
Yeah.
To protect the future a plea for the sake of we children and the next generation.
Go.
To safeguard our image before Griffith cause more damage like a dog with fleas.
I down on the knees.
And I'm begging,
Go now.
they try to stick me with rage me.
Go now.
They have more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. That's why I'm singing.
Go now.
Please, Mrs. Kamla.
Go now.
Take Munila and Sharma. Go now, please. Them and them minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni, Sweet Man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And it was awful,
Gone through it to pull.
don't need a big mouth to tell them go. Watch her and see they just follow
Now.
before we regret tomorrow.
Please.
You're setting a bad example. Family values they trample.
Go.
It's only vice they desire.
Now.
Before the 5 years expire, like a dog with fleas,
I down on the knees.
and a bleeding go now. Before we end in bankruptcy,
Go now.
before they empty the treasury, streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm bleeding go now. Immediately,
Go now.
and don't forget your AG go now, please. Love to quarrel, always oral, highly immoral. They let the good doctor starve to death. Used to court him, once support him, no road to point for him. But once in power, they quickly forget. They love confrontation, so no mediation. The case by the Privy Council, but the warriors they settle. You see, you could make a fortune filling up a lagoon. The environment is boosted.
Notice people too.
Is why I want them go. With them whole lies they peddling now. It's only PR they selling. They wouldn't tell me the whole truth. The man just wanted a root. Before they carve out a mountain, before the cost we start counting like a dog with fleas, a dog on their knees. And I'm begging, go now. Always get the contract. Who profit from the kickback? Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing, go now. Tell Munila and Surush, it's best they seek refuge. Go now, please. You tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, ear to ear. For their own abuses, they keep making excuses. Housing crack up over, they unleash the lawyer, set up an inquiry just to get Kid Rowley.
But they wouldn't sue the false paper screw.
I don't need to close to tell them go. Hurry, pack up your bundle
Now.
Stop fooling the people. The country taking a beating. So me plea are repeating.
Go.
They like a natural disaster.
Now.
10 times worse than Ebola. Like a dog with fleas
I
and
down on the knees.
Please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess. Before things fall apart and the riot starts. Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation. Go. To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas. A dog on the knees. And I beg you, go now. They try to stick me with rich me. They have more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. That's why I'm singing. Oh, now. Please, Mrs. Kamla. Oh, now. Take Munila and Sharma, go. Now, please.
A pleasant good night, everyone. Wayne Mitchell. I would like to ask.
Agree?
No, no. The program today is get at showing that this government is inefficient and maladministration. So, Lennox Andrew say he don't know. Ask Dennis. Dennis say he don't know. Ask Andy. So let me do the Andy now. Because Andy tell us.
Let me just tell you. I have no original idea. I have no original idea. Tell you. I have no original idea. Every idea that I have, I get it from someone.
Yes, indeed.
So the Minister of Finance, because remember, Lennox Andrews asked the Minister of Finance about money. The Minister of Finance, when they ask him, he say Andy could answer the question, Andy Williams. Now Andy Williams tell the nation he have no original ideas and he could have been in jail. Play that for the people to hear.
Let me just tell you, I have no original idea. Every idea that I have, I get it from someone. Right? People think that Andy is so brilliant and everything. I have no original idea. I always get an idea from someone. Now, 10 years ago, Brother Cornwall, I could have been in prison. Right? I lost my job. And this lady right here and my dad bailed me out. Right?
So Dennis, that's why the maths do maths in. Because if when they ask you about the size and the cost of the houses, you say to ask Andy, a self-proclaimed thief, and a man who say he have no original ideas and he could have been in jail. That means you see how the country running?
God help us.
So why is it that the Prime Minister have so much faith in Andy? Because the good book say the upholder is as guilty as the thief.
Why is a handy man?
I have no idea. So we join it, we connecting the dots and things. So the man that Denny said to ask about the house, tell the nation, and he gonna do it in a house of God, you know, before God and man, you know. But I don't know nothing. But listen what he said when he sit down in Carriacou.
Came up with that. I was in Carriacou on the airport, and the idea came to me. I had an architect right by me at the same time, and I said, listen, why can't we do both houses? Came up with that. I was in Carriacou on the airport, and the idea came to me. I was in Carriacou on the airport, and the idea came to me. I had an architect right by me at the same time. And I said, listen, why can't we do both houses with wall frame? He said, Andy, that's a good idea. And I'll show him exactly what I'm talking about. He took it and made it into a design. So what you see in the picture you had up there, the first picture of the house,
yeah,
that was my idea in terms of
cut it equal.
Nice.
And that's me thinking now.
Cut it equal. Let me balance it out with what he say in the church.
Let me just tell you, I have no original idea. I have no original idea.
Go on, you say something else after that.
Every idea that I have, I get it from someone.
Stop it. Every idea that I get it from someone. And play what he say when he was on the airport.
Came up, I was in Carriacou on the airport, and the idea came to me.
Stop
I had an architect Carriacou on the
Stop
airport.
it right there. A man who claim he have no original idea, and any idea he gets is somebody who had give him. All of a sudden was in Carriacou and an idea come to him.
I wonder who idea was that.
But hold on, no, that not no laughing matter, Igwe. That is same man. Lennox Andrew say ask Dennis out money. Dennis say he don't know ask Andy. That I getting that the country in trouble. Because if the two persons who should know,
the most senior public,
Lennox Andrew and Dennis Cornwall. So Dennis make the damn maths. Because if you and Lennox Andrew should know, and all you have to go to Andy, who says, I have no original idea.
God, may God help us.
Any idea I get is somebody who had give me. But you are sitting on some airport in Carriacou and an idea come to him. And money involved in 15 million and orders.
Ooh, I wonder who pass and give a man the idea.
But let me balance it out with sweet spot.
My team and I from Selective Engineering are delighted to be part of this project, Build Back Better, because in our view, it's a project that will touch the lives of affected people, mainly burial. And when Mr. Minister engaged me, and he came up with the concept, I saw the drawing from Architect Lalji, and we spent some time, and we got to a sweet spot from having a functional unit that is resilient, that is structurally sound, to one that is affordable. So the calls that Mr. Lalji was getting, I was getting it also. And then Mr. Honorable Minister Williams told me, say, this have to be done in 3 weeks. I joke my calculator, say, Mr. Minister, it's impossible. Concrete, 3 to 7 days, you'll get 50% of the strength. We have to wait for certain things to cure to move on. Juice, we need it in 3 weeks. We had discussion with our contractors, other engineers, they say 8 weeks. So what we had to do was streamline the processes, and we did deliver a model house in 3.5 weeks.
Stop it. So here are we balancing this thing out now, Devon and listeners. 1.1, the guy has no original ideas. No, we don't take in call yet, we teaching. Call a hold on. 1, the guy has no original ideas. Secondly, he could have go in jail. He's an unethical guy. Don't forget that. 3, an idea hit him. 4, something that should take 8 weeks, he forced Juice on them to bring it in 3 weeks. And whilst we at it, I ain't saying nothing, but persons could go and find out the antecedents of Juice on them. Find out the character. 5, there is no ethical principle, because if you know something has to be 8 weeks, And it is impossible to do in 3 weeks, but it happened in 3 weeks. So we're talking about ethical principles here, right already. And we know a guy nearly go in jail because he do ethics. And then, lo and behold, they found a sweet spot. Because we hear about gracious offer before, but we hear sweet spot now. So we don't know if sweet spot mean like Ron say when man nice he don't say anything. So we don't know if this guy was nice. We don't know if intoxication will lead to hallucination and fabrication and things. But where is the ethics, Devon? Because the same gentleman who say it was original idea, he professed to be a thief. Could have go in jail. He do ethics. And we've seen ethics now, so they go and build houses for people. Lack of ethical principles. 8 weeks into 3 weeks.
I would also like us to pay attention to this company they call Selective Engineering.
I tell you, find out the antecedents of them pillars and them.
Yes, Selective Engineering. People pay attention to that name. Selective Engineering. And let's find out what is the coordination between Selective Engineering and Minister Andy Williams.
Find out the relationship.
Let's find out the relationship. The man who has no original ideas, right? It would be surprising to know what we find out.
So let's take some calls now, Igwe. Yeah, we could take some calls now.
What's this good call, you know?
The sweet spot.
Good afternoon. Hello?
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Yeah, good afternoon, bro.
I don't know how long we have to wait again, you know. The election come in.
Not long.
But some ministers had to make some jail, you know. They could climb Google tree. They had to make a jail. Because this man and them lying too much, Papa. They take us and taking us for a ride just so. Huh?
And they feeling good about it, eh?
Yeah, and they're laughing at us, you know. Yeah. But they have to make a jail. They have to make a jail. They have to account for all this money, where this money going and where it go. You understand? We serious, you know.
Yeah, don't worry.
Because when you hear we coming out to play. This wrong when you hear we coming out to play. We coming out to play real hard, you know.
Cleaning up.
All right, thank you.
All right, my friend. That sweet spot.
Igwe, a school child say, Andy only takes ideas from the PM and not the rest of the ministers.
Good afternoon, Vanny Cohen. Congratulations on your confirmation on Friday. Finally! Vanny has received his confirmation as a ACP. So you're not in Hollywood anymore.
So who's giving the confirmation?
Public Service Commission.
Okay, so that's out of the
So
government.
Public Commission.
Well, it's them, still, the government.
So Public Commission to know what Arnold Duali, why they confirm him. But they say the thing get grimy in the force. Because mash up phone. And the king's son, like they don't want them again.
Oh God, they get rid of them.
Because the king's son, they say he acting like a deputy. But they say when Mackenzie moving, he put in Randy Cannot.
Wherever you acting PM?
Yeah, Dennis get it for like a while. Why you think I'm talking about him and I tell him to make the damn thing, Matt?
Dennis,
you acting PM, Dennis?
Bad.
So that was speaking, why you think I'm speaking to him today?
Intoxication.
Make the damn maths, Dennis.
I didn't know.
You in charge?
I didn't know.
You the head honcho.
Come, balance the maths, man. Balance the maths now.
Dennis, don't go and drink too much while you're in the helmet now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they say, mash up phone. You should be on the panel to interview people because they're taking in some people in the force again. Eh? They say mash up phone, you should be on that, but they take out mash up phone. And the female police officer used to walk in traffic. The one that was almost persuaded. SB again, so SB mash up more. Yes, I said it. SB mash up more. Because you go down there, and you go, even the head of SB won't be able to control it. Because all you believe, pum rule. Go on.
What minister and Nolly?
I don't know, ask him about if you have any storeroom up here.
He's supposed to be away.
Yeah, you have to go on that thing too.
He's supposed to be in New York somewhere.
Well, congratulations to the police and them are the acting.
Yeah. So and
they confirm them. But the sad part, they don't want to give them retroactive.
Why did
But the guy in Dubai get retroactive.
Retroactive, and he's still getting money to pay his children's school fees. Which government minister in Grenada does get? Which government minister in Grenada? People, I want you all to tell me that. Does get money to send their children to school directly? Any minister or government, all you know, that does get money in excess of $8,000-9,000 to send the children to private school? Tell us.
Somebody tell me a big question they think we miss. Okay. They say, bro, are you still missing one key point? If the work finish in 3 weeks instead of 8 weeks, 5 weeks of labor, who does this savings go to?
Okohan.
DJ Greasehan, don't pass in me yard. You would have see how me mouth bad. DJ Greasehan.
Don't pass in me yard.
Yeah, let me take the call.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you, Carl?
Hey, what's up?
Brian, I just want to say something, but I want to ask something out of the way. You don't must answer if you want. You, Devon, you don't must answer. But if I want to say something, say something. But the first point is, I noticed Devon get a nice shot from Dubai boy. He looking nice, I like it. All right, listen, man. Do you have, Devon and Carl, do you have any idea that there is an investigation going on with the PM from Jamaica?
Yes.
Oh, you are aware of it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because last
Corruption or statute date.
Exactly. Last night I've been see that about 3 or 4 or 5 times on my telephone. And look, I marked down something here. Let me tell you what I read. Integrity Commission report on Dr. Andrew Holness in Jamaica, PM, concerning money transaction with 3 companies. Something go on. This was brought, and listen me carefully now, this one. This was brought to the House of Representatives by the opposition leader. So all right. I just said I see it, I said, let me tell you that today. So I want to know if anything can happen down here too.
Oh, definitely. All right, my friend.
Take care.
Give me sweet spot one time again.
The Integrity Commission.
My team and I from Selective Engineering are delighted to be part of this.
We want to know if the $15 million project, did Selective Engineering bid for that project? Yeah. Who has that project? The $15 million project. So the sweet spot is coming more and more clear. So when Selective Engineering talk about the sweet spot, is it 15 million sweet spot? The question begs.
We found the sweet spot.
Found the sweet money. Just to remind folks, not to cut you, the zonal meeting that goes down this afternoon with Minister Bello. No, we know him as Bello. Minister Bello, the boss will be here. Dr. Kit Mitchell, Dwight Hosford, Jelani Glynn, and Dr. Clarice Modes. That's in the Anglican School. They're starting at 6:30 p.m. NNP come out and support.
Yes.
All you know the vibe. Come out.
Another in a series of zonal meetings.
Yeah, come out
taking place around the country.
Support the thing. 6:30 this
NNP. Let's keep this thing focused.
So is it a $15 million sweet spot.
Yeah, selective engineering. And here we talk about the sweet spot, eh? The man who doing the thing.
So maybe when, I don't know, could it be when he say boss no, 8 weeks, the boss might say 15 million. Yeah. And then all of a sudden,
sweet spot.
Ethics go out of the door.
Yeah.
But I know contractors and he doesn't want the name calling work what good. Mm-hmm. But then again, with that sweet spot of 15 million.
With that 15 million, they don't see a 5 million already chiseling off.
But listen, like I tell you, apart from 5 million, a person asks a salient question. If he's 8 weeks, 5 weeks labor there, so because they give they give an amount to the house. So they must work out the labor cost and everything to give a cost to the house. So with that 5 extra weeks, that 5 weeks labor money, who getting that money? Yeah. So maybe that's the sweet spot, 5 extra weeks money.
It's like a sweet spot. They pay $90,000 to fix a bridge, to put 2 pieces of board.
I take 2 days.
2 days. $90,000. We had to be crazy in this country. All this among the sweet spots.
Somebody asked, is T6953 privately owned or government owned? Can you say a guy driving, go home and work every day, a guy have it like it's his. They want to know if T6953, whether it is privately owned or government owned. So somebody go call and tell us, or somebody go send the information. Somebody should put a mark on.
Yeah.
So tell callers they could bring it in now.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Hey. Good evening.
Hey.
Devon.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, I ain't calling Carl this morning because Carl does want to tell me what he wants when I come with my facts.
Because
I vexed with him. So tell him don't talk to me again.
That's what friends does.
I go tell him.
A friend should be able to tell you as is and no mama guy you and papi show you.
No, I don't mama guy. When I come with my facts, he does tell me I doesn't have my facts. But anyhow, my facts don't prove true when I come with it. Anyhow, let me tell you something. I want to mention this thing that I hear you guys talking about it. It's very important. They managed to save $50,000 a house. You know, when you look at it, you have to first take into consideration the cost of material. Is the $50,000 its total cost for labor and material for the 28 by 22 size house? Does it include bathroom and toilet? Does it include all the prerequisite of finishes, painting and tiling and so forth, and that the like? Where the circumstances, gentlemen? I am speaking to you in the capacity of knowledge. Now, the circumstances, material is expensive now to build for building. Wood, lumber, 2x4, 2x6 is very expensive. You ought to get 1x10, 1x12 to make columns. And it depends on the height of the columns, you have to go above 8 feet. So, in other words, we have to take into consideration when they talk about sweet spot, what is the lie up behind that? How much they manage, how much they could manage to build in a short space of time. And the strength of the building must be taken into consideration. 3 weeks is not sufficient. So if we want to calculate labor for 8 weeks and have reduce the labor to 3 weeks, sometimes we may have a crash landing program.
Disaster.
And if it's a crash landing program, you have to be very careful how we do and what we do. In construction, there is nothing short of being real putting it into realistic aspect. You have to have the know-how, and you have to have the set out right material, right knowledge, right work, and then we could see if 3 weeks could do it all. And I know for a fact it's going to take much more than 3 weeks to do that. Prefab can't work here. In the old time days, people used to put lumber or concrete on top of lumber and on top timber, 2x4 and 2x6 wood. And what happened? Ivan Strauss is no longer valid. We can't do it that way. And I am telling you what I see after Ivan here. And there is two buildings that stands out still. Both of them in St. Paul's. One close to where the guy doing his pastries there. The Lord guy. One building is right close to that. And I could point it out because I've been there, I looked at it. And I know what kind of work was done in the past. Can we go back to those kind of facilities and build like that? I am saying no, because we will think we're building bigger, stronger, and better. But another eventual hurricane could teach us a lot more lessons, and a lot of lessons will be learned. So we cannot allow a minister with no knowledge, no know-how, dictate the pace to somebody who is in the construction business. You have to sit down with him and let him know that cannot work. That cannot work. Yes, the house look good, but we have to be very careful with the structure and the foundation and the roof, the roofing aspect of the house. That's all I want to mention, gentlemen. I'm talking from experience and knowledge. Thank you very much.
All right, my friend. Thank you. You know, I want to give an advice.
You sound like a builder.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
I want to give an advice to the government. Whether you take it or not, you may sound, you know, you have insurance money for damages for the hurricane. And so, in Karaku's situation, seeing that you already decided to put the houses in Karaku, the Chinese houses in Karaku up for sale, why don't you take a portion of that CREF money, buy those houses from the Ministry of Housing, and give it to persons who need houses?
But I think in recent days, I've received some information. Maybe they start to give the housing.
Well, they may as well take some money out of the CREF
So I
money.
say I have to tell Gates, because of him and Senior P and Devon, who keep advocating for the Carrico people, that it look like something start to happen.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, it has to be good.
So somebody who might be in the know could call us and let us know.
And let us know. Because I really hope they're doing that. Or just buy the houses, 100 units, and give it to persons who need it. No love lost. It's the Grenadian people. You understand? But it's just... They are so, I mean...
The same person who asked if T6953 is privately owned or government, they asked, was T4315 privately owned or government owned?
Give the house on them and give all. Yeah. Share it all. Yeah.
I
share
can,
all.
I just give a thing on a school child tell me to ask the question for her mother, who is a teacher. Mm-hmm. Why is it after a year and months that the teachers and workers in TAMCC who negotiated the pay hike and whatever, up to this day have not yet received? Some of them no receive nothing. Some of them only get for the last 3 months. They're still owing them for last year. Why it is? What it is, Minister of Education and the TAMCC board? What is going on with the monies that were negotiated right, for the teachers in TAMCC, please pay them.
What happened with free education? You got to see the lab fees. What happened with free education?
And this foolishness that they do, I call it foolishness by the money that they take away from TAMCC, from students not paying the money, the $800. In my view, you basically putting TAMCC to its knees. Because if you as a government not replacing that money for TAMCC to operate, I mean, come on, that's thousands of dollars that they are losing. And you expect the education of our children to be, you know, the callers there. Let's take the call.
Share all the hosts.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, my friend.
How things?
Yeah, not too big.
Master Carl.
Hey, your cousin is acting prime minister.
Question as to whether Mr. Cornwall still has the still a CBI agent.
Yeah, he's the acting prime minister.
He
Your
did an
cousin.
interview. He did an interview just recently on GBN, in which that question was brought up, and he acknowledged that he set up a company as a CBI agent. He was the director of it until he became Minister for Finance. Now the thing is, you remember he was Minister for Aviation and so on before. Whilst he was minister, he was still for aviation and so on. Based on what he said, he was still the director of it. But since he became Minister for Finance, he gave up the directorship of it. But the company is still there. That's what he's saying.
One question. Why it is so hard for he to say, no, I'm not? Why you have to go all this explanation? Are you a CBI agent? No.
No, he's still a CBI agent. He's saying that he's not the director of the company that he set up for that purpose. He's no longer the director or the controlling director of it. But the company still exists. That's what he acknowledged. So the man is still a CBI agent. He's a beneficiary from his company still.
Caller, listen this. The problem I have with this thing is nothing about him. You know. The problem I have, any investor that need concession has to apply to the Minister of Finance. That's my problem with the whole thing. That is my problem with the whole thing. It could be Dennis, it could be Andy, it could be anybody who want to be like the business. But my problem is when an investor has to go to a would-be agent for concessions. And we know the Prime Minister tried to defend corruption by giving a set of money out to them. That is my problem.
Carl.
Yes.
Carl, there is no way that could be ethically and morally good. There's no way that a minister of government being an agent in a program like a CBI program, there's no way that is a proper thing. Watch me. The thing is corrupt. It is corruption to its highest hilt. I don't care whoever it is. Corruption is corruption.
Because the cabinet sits on the applications of investors to become CBI persons.
Yes.
So
that's what happens.
So he being the chairman of cabinet while the prime minister is out. So if was a discussion on something CBI, what he would go recuse himself and not chair the meeting?
I can see it happening.
There are more questions.
So tell him to make the damn maths.
But interesting thing that I saw on Facebook this week, about 2 days ago I think I saw it, is Michael Battis, one of the most vehement and aggressive critic of Kit Mitchell all the years, is now calling for Kit Mitchell
to stay
you might say, back in office again, is calling on Kit Mitchell to hold the fort. He's pointing out the incompetence of these guys and them that are in authority in this country right now, and comparing to Kit Mitchell. These guys are absolute rookies, apprentice. And to hear Michael Battis so glaringly calling for Kit Mitchell back again in this place, it tells a whole lot. Though there's another person, a blind man, who says basically the same kind of thing about this administration and the guys that are
the citizen not say that?
Incompetence, the corruption. When you hear him speaking nowadays that way, it speaks a lot. It tells a lot of what is
even
actually
the blind
going on in the
could
country.
see.
People are not blind.
Even the blind could see.
People seeing what is going on. And I've had conversation with people in recent weeks who saying basically the same kind of thing. How incompetent these guys and them are. How corrupt they are. This is the most corrupt set of politicians we ever experienced in this country. There's no question about that. And not just that, the incompetence level, it is so high. I mean, like, these guys have no clue as to what they're supposed to be doing. It is obvious nowadays to a lot of people. And you keep hearing them saying that. They don't know what they are doing. That's a cry that you hear all the time. So, I mean, we are in trouble.
Because look, and same thing again. Why I speak a lot to Dennis, because he and Lennox aren't just supposed to be the persons in the know. Two of them working in the Ministry of Finance before. But you see, the government taking insurance money and putting GDP to make profit because they will charge an interest on the money. That is not ethical even. That is not morally correct. But the bastions of morality in Grenada, you don't hear in them. Like cat eat the tongue, the mouth zip, all of them hands on the lip. What is this government doing a set of stupidness? Then is the Martin when I
showed up.
Go ahead.
I hear the Prime Minister announce that Tillman Thomas is Deputy Governor General. I never knew that there was a post in the Constitution called Deputy Governor General.
Well, remember, the MIT ministry was not set up as how ministry should be set up by Parliament. You know? So anything could happen. You call that anything goes.
Deputy Governor General.
I don't understand where he come out with that.
So how
having Tillman Thomas as Deputy Governor General?
Because a lot of people believe the Prime Minister is Deputy God, so he could have Deputy GG.
But how he come about that though? So, the GG is still around.
I don't know how he come about it.
I never know the GG have a deputy. I know there will be somebody acting in the case that the deputy
there will be somebody acting in absence.
Yeah, with Deputy GG.
Well, and usually it is the President of the Senate.
Yeah. But she's in Cuba.
Yeah, usually it is that.
Yeah.
That's how the thing is set up. But then again, too, you could have, maybe they could appoint somebody else.
There are times when they appointed persons.
Official title called Deputy Governor General.
Well, we don't know. So, caller, before you go on to ask you this, you is a man have been around long. What you know about black pepper?
Is black pepper.
Maybe a little or nothing, except it's something I like very much.
But I think it is viable here.
But I heard you all guys talking about.
Well, the Prime Minister talk about that in your crop.
I didn't hear him directly, but I heard you all talking about it. But and like you all pointing out, it's something that takes quite a while to grow.
That distraction thing, man.
3 years.
But then again, too, the soil of Grenada, whether it is a crop that is suited for that or soil, I don't know. I can't say much about this thing at all. But whenever these guys come up with some kind of excited, like Mr. Pierre like to say it, the guys are glad. He just get glad. He glad struck. Yeah. So simple ideas, he take it and he run with it without considering it. Like for example, the one with the picking up the mangoes and so on with the grain like that.
That distraction.
Chucks.
Yeah.
You know, he just come up with a set of, well, as they say, here, brain.
No, according to Donald Trump, word salad.
Yeah, word salad.
All right, caller.
These guys and them, I mean, they just, they need a few lessons.
Yeah.
They have no ideas.
Like Dr. Michel
no
said,
institutional knowledge.
Yeah. But between me and you, I don't know between them and Donald Trump who lie more, you know.
Them lie more than Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's possible.
All of them lying together. Yeah. All right, caller.
You got it already?
They man. Ian Thomas didn't invite you any christening?
No, I only see big. I will deal with him. Django. Yeah. Me and you only friend when you want me to talk politics. You can bring me to get a little drink on the baby head too. It's all good. We still friends, bro. Understand? Still friends.
Dear Devon, what you know of black pepper?
Well, very little.
But black pepper is not a new thing to Grenada.
No.
Don't let the Prime Minister tie them up.
As if it's a new product.
Black pepper was grown here already.
A long time.
And because of how cumbersome.
Just like onions and Irish potato.
Just like what?
Onions.
Yeah.
Irish potatoes.
Watch coffee. People feel they had too much work. Coffee gone. Yeah. You think black pepper will make black pepper will make? And black pepper is a vine.
It is. It's a vine.
You could climb trees, or you could do, you know, like I do passion fruit and thing.
Mm-hmm, yeah, passion fruit.
And then the process after pick, wash, clean, dry and so on.
And then everything.
They don't give in assistance to sauce up, where you just go and pick sauce up and wash. Yeah. But they're talking about black pepper.
You understand?
And a man see if you see a whole green black pepper Cornish.
Yeah, if you time like that, so like he himself don't know what it is. I mean, these guys come up with so much ridiculous ideas that is not original. You know.
Yeah, but the sweet spot we want to know what the sweet spot is.
Yeah. Sooner or later. Yeah, that sweet spot.
After 2 years, Devon, what grade were you giving this government on health?
Huh. I don't think they got off the ground with health as yet. I don't think they got off the ground with health, so I can't give them a grade. They have not yet got off the ground in providing any level of health care assistance to the people of Grenada. They have not yet. Everything that they are doing right now is as a result of what was put in place by the previous government. Everything that is being done now. Right? One of the things that they are not doing is the whole question of medication. Right? The continuous shortage of medication throughout the island, and you hear it from people every day. Right? I mean, items that should not be right on the scarce list is there. Right? They have to do but yet for all, they're talking about building a big teaching hospital that will take years while Grenadians dying. Babies dying in the hospital for lack of proper service and facilities. You understand? Things that they can do. But you're talking about a hospital that will take the next 10 years. I mean, we will lose a whole generation by that time. You guys have no vision. You have health facilities here in Grenada that all it needs, right, is a touch up here and there and put the right persons in it to give the services. That is where the human resource is what is needed in the healthcare system. Train more doctors, more nurses, and so to give better and proper service in the hospital. We don't need no new hospital at this point in time, right? We have a new wing at the General Hospital. Princess Alice, it has just been renovated. Look at the one in Karakou. Yes, Beryl damaged it, right? But it's on its way. We need to upgrade these and upgrade our health centers to provide first-class treatment to the villagers. Instead of they have to run to the hospital here and there. If the health centers in St. Patrick's, in St. Mark's, St. John's, you understand, is up and running effectively, then the health provided will be much better. But who is me to talk about that? But I'm seeing the neglect of our people every day when it comes to health.
In agriculture, Devon, what grade you give this government in agriculture?
Perhaps 2 out of 5. Or not 2 out of 10.
0.
I will give them a little in agriculture because they are trying to clean up some of the government-owned estates. Whether or not what they're doing with it is another thing, you know. So at least they're trying to make a start. But I give them 2. They can't go further than 2 because simply fact is marketing board. The destruction of marketing board by this government is unacceptable. And some of you farmers out there playing dummy and dummy don't know. You understand? Sticking up to this government. Tell them what they did is wrong. Years, look, months now the Prime Minister promised to come back with a report as to the way forward for marketing board. Every time he's been asked a question, he keep talking about suggestion is being together to put marketing board as to the way forward. We've been hearing that for almost 2 years now, almost as long as this government is in office. You understand? The lip service that they're giving to agriculture, marketing board in particular, they destroy it completely. And they still owe workers. Workers that they fire, they still owe them. I mean, make it make sense. I mean,
disaster management, Devon. What grade are you going to give them for that?
Still not here.
A lot to be desired. I think when it comes to disaster preparedness and so, I think we have to up our game much more. Right? We have moved a notch, especially with the previous government, not because we here pushing the NNP story, but the last government was able to put some much needed structures in place when it comes to NAGMA. And so both in Grenada and in Carriacou, right, in terms of the facilities, the HQ that they can operate from and everything like that, the equipments, right, that they have, the human resource is what needs to be developed, right, throughout this nation. Right, the shelters, the hurricane shelters need to be selected much better, right? Better structures need to be put in the different zones and so to manage the shelters and so, right? And so NAGMA is there, but there's a lot to be done, in my view, with NAGMA to bring it up to speed, right? To really service the needs. Because you see the shortcomings when Beryl hit. Right, you saw the scrambling and so of NAGMA personnel, both in Carriacou and on the mainland. Indecisiveness, you understand? Wasn't in a position to give proper data and to direct people as to what and where to go and everything like that. So we need to up our game with NAGMA. Yes, there is a structure in place, but we need to put the persons there to do what needs to be done in NAGMA.
What grade are you giving for the youths?
Well, just as how this government downgraded the Ministry of Youth to Department of Youth, I think that should speak for itself, right? Because we have not seen nothing moving for the young people. I mean, in recent weeks and so, they had no choice but to reintroduce the Empower program set up by the previous government to assist young men and so. Right, when it comes to the Imani is about to be buried. Gradually, they are dismissing Imani workers smartly by the ones and the twos, just like the wardens, the traffic wardens, and so. So sooner or later, by the end of these guys' term, there will be no more Imani persons there because they have no appetite, in my view, for the youth, to structure the youth better, to give more assistance to the youth and everything like that. You only hear big money passing, especially with things like the the creative economy and all these sort of things where much young people should get. But who? They are targeting specific young people, persons within their circles. And so, not the average persons in the rural areas and so. You talk about youth. Look at what they're doing to the schools and so when it comes to internet. And so, a lot of the schools still suffering when it comes to community centers with internet.
Post signal, post
service don't have service at all. And these were put there to facilitate, to help young people, right? Weather the storm. In the case where their parents cannot afford internet, or so they can go to a community center, or so and sit and help do their work and so. These are the things that affect the youths. I mean, there is no direction.
Devon, how much the ambassador, not to cut you, how much the ambassador in Dubai gets per month?
Well, based on the thing, I think it's somewhere around $40,000.
When you add up everything.
When you add up everything, both salaries and allowances and school fees for children and all that sort of thing, it comes up way in
Is US we talking?
Well, I'm not sure. It possibly could be EC.
EC?
It's possible.
A school child is saying that could hire 15 nurses per month.
Of course. And if it's US even worse. You understand? But the question with that though, which government minister or official in this country is giving money to pay the school fees for the children, except for this ambassador?
We don't know. He might have more. We can't just say that.
Well, that's why I'm asking the question. Which one? We want to know. Because, I mean, like they found a soft spot somewhere.
A sweet spot.
That one no sweet, that one soft.
That's a soft one that they found. You understand? They could twist it and fold it how they want.
I like that.
You understand? This thing is unacceptable. To be having, and not just that, to be having a businessman who can afford. Yeah, and I'm coming on him. A businessman who can afford. He's not an average local Grenadian.
Who can afford what?
Huh?
Who can afford
Who can afford to do to finance himself as an ambassador?
No, they have to pay ambassadors.
No, I understand that. I'm not saying that they're not supposed to pay them, right? But as a businessman, you cannot, expect government to be paying for your children to be going to school.
We never know what the negotiations. Listen to me, Devon. These things of them is not right. However, the Prime Minister said clear. When you see source decision, what we have to find out, how much or if the businessman paid for any rally and big fete. Yeah, so because he say that thing.
Yeah.
He say when you see these things going on, just find out who pays for the rally and the big fete. Yeah. So what's happening? I'm trying to figure out now, I'm trying to get information how much was paid or which rally was paid for and which big fete was paid for.
Government by default?
Yeah. Yes.
That is.
And it comes back down to the same government by default. Because he say, when you do for your friends, your colleagues and your family, and that is a classic case.
Yeah, nepotism.
But whether the ambassador is a good negotiator
or not
to negotiate such a package, and if the government was foolish enough to agree, that matter for them. But my concern is taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
And I'm a taxpayer.
Me too.
So I reserve the right to speak about it.
If we do not recruit our young people and get them active in politics, you will end up with reluctant politicians or politicians by default. And when they become politicians by default, usually the only thing they're interested is in themselves, their friends, and their family.
Government by default.
I wonder how the foreign minister, right, the other parliamentary representative for St. Patrick's, I wonder how he's sitting down and taking these things. And when you watch persons who basically
540,000 per year.
is less than him in terms of authority, is getting more money than him. I wonder how he feels. You understand?
Can't feel no how. They're getting enough already.
But they're getting enough already, so yeah.
So we are the best paid government in the history of Grenada. And maybe we are the best paid ambassadors too.
Yeah, best paid ambassadors too. Because remember, there's an issue with the one in the UK where they hold a complete new complex for them costing over 400,000 pounds to relocate.
But you have an issue I need to touch on. That one before we move. Now, Gates mentioned a while ago that the NNP has a function not too far from us.
Yeah, and we can
this
school.
afternoon. And we encouraging
everybody.
All and sundry.
Everybody.
East and west.
To come out like
just flood the place.
Flood.
Yeah, water.
Some people, somebody say we out like wet, they come out like flood.
Scoops, like scoops. So we come out like flood.
It's like when the rain falls, it does flood Grenville.
Yeah.
No.
Coming out like that.
I'm speaking to the RGPF. And Mr. Randy cannot, because they say you're acting COP. I'm speaking to you. And I'm speaking to the recently confirmed ACP Vani. The rest don't make any sense. The King's son and them, like they don't want them. They did like how they didn't want Christopher Columbus in Italy. They don't want them in the room. They'll get rid of them just now. So the van go get arrested. Now, the leader of the opposition is officially recognized. One of the functions of the RGPF is the protection of VIPs and dignitaries. The leader of the opposition happens to be a VIP and a dignitary in the parliamentary setup of the country, and by extension, the MPs, opposition MPs. The opposition leader is officially recognized. In the official order of precedence, the opposition leader ranks immediately after members of cabinet, RGPF. So when the NNP, the official opposition, is holding any function or meeting, and the attendance of the leader of the opposition and opposition MPs is known, the police must be there.
Must.
I don't do nobody a favor.
No, that only work.
Because I don't want you to take side and then government change and I are crying victimization. A word to the wise is enough. So the NNP having a meeting this afternoon, and the political leader, the opposition leader, His Majesty's opposition will be there. He's supposed to have police there. And the police should not only be there in attendance with a vexed face, but they ought to ensure that the area is safe for VIP and official personage.
As part of the duty.
The NNP don't have to ask all for that.
Who's in charge of the Western Division?
I have no idea, but I'm speaking to Randy Cannott and Vani Cohen. Because they're listening. So, when you had the youth meeting in Guava and you don't see in police something wrong. When you had the meeting in the trade center and you don't see in police something wrong. So I don't want them to say like the last Sunday or the Sunday before they had meeting in Guava and they say they forget. The person in charge of Sotets police station must know, because what I know, in the weekly report, you must report all activities
taking place
in the police precinct.
Yeah.
So you must know when MP having a meeting, and you must know the crowd size, and you must know what they say, because you're looking to see if anything subversive is being said or seditious. So you must be there, and you must be there early. And you have to ensure that the area is safe Because the leader of the opposition and the opposition MPs are VIP, an official personage. I using the word personage on them to say it's not a good word. I know how they just get on because when little maths go, they will talk about maths. So I them to go and say that.
They'll spend 3 and 4 days on
ASPRI has in charge.
So after the GG, the Prime Minister, the Chief Justice, Cabinet Ministers, then the opposition, the leader of His Majesty's opposition, come even before the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House. And if MPs they just come just after cabinet ministers. Because the president of the Senate and the Speaker of the House is selected, not elected. No, we educating them because here when we come here, we don't come to play. So police, RGPF, ran the cannot. I know that is not above your pay grade. You and Vanny Cohen. Because Vanny, you must be he was in McDonald College, in convention, in civilian clothing. You and Dan Mackenzie. You have a meeting in Sortes.
This afternoon.
And to see if you're in a police day.
Starts at 6:30.
And to see the police, I'm going to say they forget like the meeting there, the women's meeting there didn't go up. They say they forget. And to see if they go forget again. Do allow politicians to make all you do perform your duty with distinction. The head of the police station in Sortes happens to be somebody I know.
Mr. Richards?
Don't call people name here. We don't nothing name calling. They know who we're talking about. The person in charge of the Sortes police station. He's an officer. You are appointed by the Public Service Commission. Take note. Because notice is being taken. So don't say all you forget like in golf. Not explaining all that for him to understand that one. So when the weekly is being written for next week, you must talk about the political meeting.
As a major activity.
And how much people was there approximately. And what the discussion was about.
Okay, it is a major activity. So it has to be,
Not even major in Devon. By virtue of the leader of the opposition being a VIP. An important personage and official. Voted for, not selected. RGPF, get on your bike and do the honorable thing. Don't do like when the present advisor to the Minister of National Security used to do kaka-kuku. Not only taking side. Police do take side. All you have to be impartial. When I take the oath before God and man, all you acknowledge, Devon. Not Regina now, King Charles, his heirs, and successors, and the leader of His Majesty opposition deserve police protection. So ASB are supposed to go and sweep the area to see if anybody plant any device to harm the leader of the opposition. There's no two ways about it. Because listen, the opposition regards itself as a government in waiting, and its leader as a potential Prime Minister. The system assumes that at any time an alternative government is standing by and ready to assume the responsibilities of office. So I don't say nothing, but I don't give in my opinion. My opinion matters not. No matter what I may think. And maybe I won't, if it's my opinion, I won't say it nice like that. You know, because I can't sing nice like Randy and them. But what I could say, the constitution of the land. Because the police is not a vanguard organization. The police is not a piece in the tail organization. The police is a creature of statute. The police is recognized by statute. And the police commissioner may make rules from time to time to govern the force and to maintain the king's peace. And His Majesty's opposition ought to be part of the maintenance of the king's peace. Now, I want them to challenge me because they just come and talk this utter nonsense about succession planning and things what they don't know about. I want them to, let me think. Let me meet me downstairs with FM and let me discuss this thing with the police. So when things is not being done, what the police should do, and you hear excuse of they didn't remember, I must scrutinize. Everything. Police is part of government. I must criticize the measures and the policy of the government vis-a-vis the RGPF. And I must propose alternatives or to tell them what the functions are. And to draw the attention of any inefficiency by saying you forget and maladministration in the conduct of national affairs. So I don't speak in my speak here. That has nothing to do with Carl Keaton. That has nothing to do with the mighty Fluto. That has nothing to do with Mastercard. So who have ears to hear, let them hear. What goes around, come back around. I hope I could take it when our turn come around. So I want to see in the meeting later on what role the police should be up there checking the area already. Because it's protection of VIP and officials. I have put in the woman in ASB to do all the biddings over. Rain doesn't fall on one people galvanize. If you only all galvanize, I want it to fall on, and I want to go and work in post office, their business. So they want soberly speaking to the RGPF for them to understand the role is not to take part and be partisan. The role is to preserve the king's peace.
And they shouldn't have any excuse because they only about 50 feet away from the venue.
But what is instructive to note, permission must be sought and given for the NMP to use those places, so the police must know. Because they are to, before permission is given, check the area to see the event requested, if it could be held comfortably in that area. So they must know. But they're playing iguana. They're only changing the color in the Bougainvillea. So Randy cannot make a better try. Don't do like Dan McKenzie. Let I take the call.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Yes, my friend.
Yes, a question. I was in Grenada about 3 weeks ago, and I have noticed about 4 female police officers as Rasta. What is the dress code for police now?
You see them as Rasta where?
Rasta, St. George's.
They was in police uniform?
In uniform.
Rasta in uniform?
Dreadlocks.
But remember, right? A woman, I mean, one hairstyle. It's a hairstyle, eh? And it's a woman. I don't think that is illegal.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I got to check on that, but Papi showing charge to anything could happen.
No, a woman could have her hair in dreads and it's fitted and well groomed and everything. And in my view, and
you see them with dreads, man. Rasta is a philosophy.
The hairstyle.
Dreadlocks, yes.
You say dreadlocks, Rasta though. You could be Rasta and you don't have dreadlocks.
The hairstyle, you see them wear.
But we go check it out.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
And as you on that, the RGPF again. All you have a set of fellas dressing in black clothes, which they call RRU or whoever or whatsoever, stopping people in night and thing, and a little gazette in the uniform. If a man do stop, because anybody could dress in that black clothes. Anybody could dress in black clothes in the night and stop people they don't know.
Yeah.
You have so much gun in the country, anybody could have gone in the night in black clothes and stopping people. They are bad precedent. Because when I just stop good people, or bad-minded people could dress like all you and stop people otherwise and do wrong thing.
Yeah, commit criminal offense.
Get the thing fixed. Gazette the uniform if you want to stay in it. A word to the wisest official. I have a lot of friends. What is police? I don't want nothing wrong happen to them. But at the same time, the carriage of justice must not only be done, but appears to be done.
An issue, Master Carla, I have to address. You know, it's been around. In recent weeks, I have noticed on social media, even on the radio station, different programs, there is an effort, a concerted effort by activists or persons on the NDC, right, coming out there and basically threatening or harassing supporters of NNP when they make comments or when they speak something on the radio that they don't like. You understand? But a word of advice to you people, keep all your vexings and all your comments for all yourself. See? And stop trying to intimidate persons who want to go to the rallies, who want to support NNP, who want to make comments on the radio and on Facebook. Stop harassing them and sending threats to them. Even their jobs and all are being threatened by some of you goons. You understand? You good for nothing people who continue to tell Grenadians that if this government wasn't in power, they wouldn't eat a food and they wouldn't pay their mortgage and their rent, and to come out and defend them and to defend the work and the money that they get in. You understand? You all can say all these type of things, you know, to your people. And so, but when it comes to the intimidation of supporters of NNP, that we will not tolerate, and you guys will not scare us. Because you go meet force with force. You come one side, we're going to come one side too. Right? Because grown people like me and others, you want to meet us in the street or even on the thing and say all kind of derogatory things about people and make all kind of comments and don't expect retaliation. You guys need to stop that. This is a free country. This is a democratic country. Right? And no one, whether you're on radio, on Facebook, or you meet me on the road, would intimidate or stop me from making comments about this government with the worthlessness that they are doing, the bad-mindedness that they are doing with these government ministers. They just pilfering and the treasury, and so for their supporters and their families and so. No one will stop me in particular and others from making comments like these, because we have the facts, we have the files.
Igwe, you know what I call Zingo?
Singer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zingo said, what I do, what I say. Anytime they try that with me,
In the apparent?
I don't want it playing.
I'm waiting on them.
Anytime they try that with me, Igwe, I just go leave it there.
Yeah.
So at least an inspector should be on the ground for the meeting later. Let me see what going on.
And they hear, the listener, they hear us. You know.
What? I don't even back in at flying button because I do afraid them.
Very waste of time, they're going to talk.
And I don't go in and comment with no fake address. When I comment, it's me.
Yes. When you
I don't deal in fake address.
When you see a comment on Facebook or with me, it's Devon.
Anytime I comment, is me.
Yes, nothing else.
You let take the call, Igwe.
Yellow.
Good afternoon.
Why are you saying they get?
Yellow.
No, not yet.
No.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
What me going? What me?
We can't know it's you, man.
I know it.
Igwe.
I heard of a clip where Andy was answering the question when Cornwall and Minister Cornwall passed the mic to Andy, and Andy gave the size of the house, and he said 27 by width and 22 by length. Which house they building was 27 by width? How come the width could be longer than the length? Hello?
Caller. That coming from a guy who say the original idea. Why you all doesn't listen to what the man say? So he could say that.
No. I know at least.
No, he could say that because he don't have ideas.
Since what day it was that I hear that I say with the. I say, what's true?
Why this guy surprising all here?
And nobody had to say, no, it don't surprise me. But since the last time I said, Bonji, nobody in the audience couldn't correct the man. The man make a genuine mistake or whatever. Even if you don't know, put the man in, correct him right there and then and say it's not 22 by length, it's 27 by length and 22 by width. Because in any house you're doing the length much longer than the width. So when I hear that, I say, Lord, you consider a man just pop out in truth. None of them don't know what's going on. They blind leading the blind, and all of them going down in a ditch. You understand? So since the last time I hear that clip play, and I just forget, was to just call and to if anyone observe that. So that's what I tell you. None of them don't know what's going on.
Watch, if they're making
they're just trying to deceive the people.
If they're making Andy deputy prime minister, we expect from them.
Well, next election, Andy should be the prime minister. more my web.
All right, caller.
Anyway, guys, we go see. I'm coming up in St. Patrick, so we go see up here.
A lot of them like to walk, or they want to walk in the post office.
Yeah, they like a lot.
But the school children are asking again. If the performance of the director of Postal Corporation is so bad that some school children say they're looking to replace the guy.
Well, yeah, unsurprised.
They also ask last month's salaries, where the money was, where they get the money to pay last month's salaries. Was it from CRIF insurance money? They don't know. They're asking. Because I tell all you, we cannot defend the indefensible. So the guy out big. They say he don't perform with distinction.
I thought Mr. Bowen to 5. Former Minister
and
Bowen
he's one like the post office worker now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like post office work.
Post office work, but he fight.
He like post office work.
He fight for that.
He like post office work.
What you saying?
By that CRIF money, thank God, for keep Mitchell and the NNP for that CRIF money.
Mr. Gregory Bowen, would you please...
God.
Mr. Gregory Bowen, will you please fire Randall Robinson from the post office? because he claimed that you owned it. So fine,
so they fighting for the work now. That post work is a fight work now. They running behind. I don't understand.
All I know is a man who truly like post office work. I don't know if it's Gregory going place or not.
They like
I know the man is a truly man. He like post office work.
They like to post a lot of
letters. Fire that man.
He like the post office.
Yeah. Fire this man and them. This man and them.
But we want to know where the money came from.
To pay salaries.
To pay salaries.
And a lot of civil servants, I mean, public workers didn't get salaries yet, They're missing. Teachers.
Hey.
But all you say, NMP don't do nothing. And that Chris money
helping.
A Calypsonian say we must be faithful to our ancestors. So they have to be faithful to grateful to NNP for being so faithful to enter into this insurance thing. No, this government is benefiting. It was not in vain. A little Chris money easing up the Postal Corporation strain and pain. If I didn't pass in the yard, I don't know no calculator and mud bad.
A school child told me to tell you, Master Carl, 2 months now, she don't get she pension money. And there's a thing you don't touch in a while. The pension don't pay. And she say, get look. Watch it in my hand, watch my bank statement.
But listen to me.
You don't go in.
Tell her to call
you?
Dennis Cornwall. And tell him make the maths.
Yeah, make the maths.
Make the damn maths acting Prime Minister Dennis Cornwall.
And stop putting your foot in your mouth. Make the maths.
And don't worry what them rude boys I am go say. Not to drink Pakro water and Babande.
Oh God.
Don't go in garden on the golf course in the night.
Yeah. And if you know you want to stand up, hold tight.
I don't know about stand up. Don't have to stand up to my statement.
No. I ain't talking about your statement.
All right, okay.
Agree to disagree.
We have a call?
No, we have no callers.
We have 20 minutes again. Devon, I was asking you some question. What is your view on education? What grade you give in this government?
Well, that's an entirely issue for itself, because the education system for the last 2 years has been, in my view, downgraded. They have not performed. And you have the most incompetent Minister of Education running there now, Mr. Andrews.
A school child tell me to tell all you too. Since they say free school fee and free school, the children them coming home and complain they belly no full. The food get little bit.
Yeah, well.
So I don't know. They say the food cut back. The children them hungry when they come home.
But no, and that is a fact, because here a lot of parents continue to make that statement, right, about the school feeding program that they have operating in the school is not effective. You get food today and tomorrow or next 2 days you don't get. Understand? And that is unacceptable. You cannot provide, right, enough things to sustain the children in our school, right? But you could pay school fees for our ambassador for your children and them. I have issue with that.
The children say the food cut back.
I have issue with that. Poor people, children suffering and starving. But you're taking excess money and pay school fees for our ambassador's children to go to school. That is unacceptable. And people think, they want to talk about this thing. I don't care about what was negotiated or whatever. It is wrong. It is not right. When you have our people here suffering, school children cannot go to school because of lack of funding. School children cannot go to school because they take off their parents off of the seed. School children cannot go to school because they have no bus money. No government is assisting them. And we're not saying anything. The education system is something to be desired. Not desired of, it's something that is way down the drain. I'm wondering how our children is going to make it in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Right? It's bad. even the teachers, all of the teachers thinking and they ain't saying nothing. A lot of them ain't getting paid. You know. A lot of them not getting paid. A lot of them who corrected the papers, the CXC papers and all them kind of things as numerators. Up to now they ain't getting paid. Up to now they ain't getting paid.
Jesus, Lord have mercy.
Right? And teacher Jude say that, and I have files for it. You understand? So I mean, it's so bad when it comes to what is going on in education. From the minister come down is tata, is mess. I don't know how our children is going to cope. You understand? I mean,
Ron.
School feeding. I'm concerned about the school feeding program. You understand? Because they cut their twist. Imagine, the children used to be paying $1, sometimes $2 or $3 every day to ensure that they get meal, and the government was still providing all the groceries and whatever. That money was to help support in cases where there might be a shortage and goods were not delivered by the ministry, right? The school could take that money that they collect and go and buy chicken or go and buy rice, whatever, right? And the school feeding program will go ahead. But now there's nothing. When there is no money, there is no food for the children.
I take that call.
Outside.
Good afternoon.
Igwe.
Yes, I.
Igwe.
Hey.
Master Carl.
Hey.
Master Carl and Devon. Igwe, I disappointed you, man. Where is the Josie, man?
Watch. I don't want to say certain thing on the radio, you know, but I vex. That's all I could tell you. I'm waiting. I'm waiting on them. That's all I could tell you now. I'm waiting on them. I vex.
I vex too, man. I vex. I
Sunday
vex. I vex as well. I vex.
Things go down. Nothing.
Oh, gosh, man. Carl.
Carl,
what's the matter, man?
Take a rally. But leave Victoria for me.
Take a walk to the for it, man. Go up there for it, man.
Alright, we go organize, man.
Ready.
Now we go organize.
Man, when
send the digits for me. Send the digits for me. Send the digits for me. I'll see what I could do this evening.
Again, vex you.
Right.
But if they tell me who, I attack already, you know, but I don't know who.
Send the digits, we go walk.
I don't know who.
Yeah, man, the thing.
Man, worry not. Send the number. So we go organize and get it done.
Right.
How things with you?
Man, that's the same question. How things?
Not too bad. A little bit of problem in and out, but I'm good.
All right,
but
once we have life.
Good job, man. And tell Devon, his voice is heard. He's bad as Bobo.
Yes.
So anyhow, guys, take care and you're all doing a good job. Anyhow, Igwe, I will send that thing for you.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
All the best.
All right.
All right, Chris.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, Devon, in light of all that is going on, what advice would you have for the NNP party members and supporters?
NNPites, this is no time for us to be sitting on the back bench and waiting for people to do things for us. First of all, let us start paying attention to the voters list. It's very important, right? The different arms of the party, who's responsible, right, for the voters list. And so let us start to be more active and identify the do's and the don'ts, right? Who is registered, who is not registered, who we have to get registered, right? This is a job for all of us as party members, right? We have to focus and to get that done. That is one of the first things that, because I know we organize, because at any minute, right, our political leader and the party calls, we all there, like wet clothes.
I mean, man.
You understand? We there. Right? So I'm just appealing for us to pay attention. Let's pay attention to the voters list.
Outside.
Right? And see the normalities and what is right and what is not wrong. And identify them. Right? Report them to our party so we can take action. Right? And stop the fraudulent practices. Right? Outlined by these other guys. And so, moving forward, as a unit and an organization, we are united. We are strong. Make no mistake about that. And we are a proud party. We have a rich history, 40 years, right, with a lot. Let us not underestimate that the gains that we have brought as a party and as an organization to Grenada. Let us continue to focus, right, on getting back into office to do what is necessary for our country. Let us make no mistake about that. We have people inside that is governing our country. We have to rid them. We have to get rid of them. But we cannot do that if we are disorganized. We have to stay focused, united, do the work. Our General Council is coming up in 1 week's time at the Trade Center, right? We will go there in force and show people that we continue to be an organized unit. After our General Council comes our convention when a date is announced. So to all our NMP supporters and those of you on the sideline, don't be afraid. Right? The organization is intact. We have firm leadership. We have members who we can look to do anything at any. We have the experience. Don't let those on the other side make you feel that we have not done nothing in the last 40 years. We must be grateful, we must be proud, and we must be happy of what we have delivered as a political organization. And we have many more, much more things to deliver when we get back into office. NMP stay strong.
We have to beat back destabilization. Now, before the last election, the National Democratic Congress and its cohorts had a free reign on social media. They whine, they carry on, they forget NNP time would have come. Now, we have to match them.
We outrun them.
We have to run them ragged. We have to put the cat among the pigeons because they start to quarrel among themselves already. Eh?
They say too much program.
Not too much program, man. No. Among themselves. They start cursing among themselves and saying who didn't have nothing. And because the government come, they get, and they don't defending. It's not our program.
And who they have to get rid of.
And who they have to get rid of and who they don't want. And they don't want Christopher Columbus in Italy. They don't want him in Rome, so you leave for Ferdinand and Isabella.
Ferdinand?
He come to the Caribbean instead.
So they start to unravel already. Because them guys and them, they think they would have it easy, but Devon and Senior, Pierre and others, they live in them rest just so.
Can't.
So we're seeing signs that they are ready to crack. They crack already. Remember that was one of our topics for the time? They crack already.
Bring it back.
So we have to keep pressing on. They say push until something happens. So NNP, we have to get we acting order. Like I always say, our methods might not be the same, but the ultimate goal is to get rid of the National Democratic Congress. So we have to find a way to coexist. We have to find a way of collectively getting rid of the Congress. Because we see what they're doing to the country. Even the defenders cannot defend their action. So they start cursing.
Indefensible.
So they will be like a caged cat. They go look to attack. They go look to spread misinformation. They go become the accusers of the brethren. So they might tell us something about Devon for we to vex with Devon. They might tell us something about Massacre for we to vex with Massacre. Because they realize if they divide, they go continue to rule. But NNP has a strong unit. Because like I tell people, we win 5 elections already and we lose 3. So there's nothing in the political realm we doesn't know. And we've been there, done that. And we've been in opposition and returned to governance already. So we have what you call the blueprint, we know. So don't let them think, like I tell you, and stand up. Stand your ground. Yeah. Like I tell them, me don't have to go under no fake profile to say what I have to say.
Nothing.
I don't afraid them. I don't hide from them. And so when I tell Dennis Collins, make the damn maths, I don't afraid him. You have to make the damn maths. Because Lennox Andrew say ask you, about money. You say ask Andy. Andy say he don't acknowledge.
Oh, who know?
Then he get something. Then the next man find a sweet spot.
Who know?
And you hear Andy talk about some hurricane
15.
Category 15. I never hear jackass in so yet.
Category 15?
Yes.
Not even
So we are open to the idea of making the pillars a little taller. Again, because it can help someone to put a downstairs. And although it might take a category 15 hurricane to move this.
What is this crazy man, right? This is the kind of people we have in office. With this kind of ideas. No, man. Oh, God, we could do better than that.
Yeah, never there.
On it in the future. So we are open to the idea of making the pillars a little taller. Again, because it can help someone to put a downstairs. And although it might take a category 15 hurricane to move this.
Category
I would also.
No, you laughing? The guy told us he don't have original ideas. So I don't know why people still finding it strange. That's the kind of thing he will say.
I am.
You know,
oh my God. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Your partner does call late, so like your partner might be on the line. Speak up!
Talk!
Master Carl.
Hey.
The 15. Well, I'm going to call you Commissioner Carl. CC, Commissioner Carl. That's who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a ranking officer in the spirit, eh?
Okay.
But here's the thing. The 15 hurricane represents the 15 seats.
Oh!
That's what it means.
That's what it means. Aye.
The 15 connect the dots.
Aye.
They do such thing as a 15 grade hurricane.
Category, yeah.
The 15 seats.
Aye.
Take care.
Aye.
A whole different
See why I love my people?
The man give me a whole wrangle. And then the man just balance out the whole discussion today, you know.
Hold everything.
So that means them boy them could get 15 again.
Yeah. 15 of them. In case a category
the boy,
hurricane.
so he do have original idea, but he could speak things into existence.
Yes.
Play it again.
Sometimes he just talk like a truth. He have premonition like the Prime Minister.
So we are open to the idea of making the pillars a little taller. Again, because it can help someone to put a downstairs. And although it might take a category 15 hurricane to move this.
Category 15. How ironic.
A work that should be done in 8 weeks. You find a sweet spot to do it in
3.5 weeks.
3 weeks. So no ethics about that. And then still talking about what category 15?
Yeah, category 15.
Play what the man say in the church for me, please. And we have to balance it out with that. No, anything you say, we must balance it out.
I have no original idea. I have no original idea. I have no original idea. Every idea that I have, I get it from someone. Right? People think that Andy is so brilliant and everything. I have no original
We know
idea.
you're brilliant.
Or you get an idea from someone. Now, 10 years ago, Brother Cornwall, I could have been in prison. Right? I lost my job. And this lady right here and my dad bailed me out. Right?
And daddy man they giving all the money to spend in green.
All the money to play with.
The man say people believe are bright, but are do bright are don't.
That's what he said.
The man say do bright.
That's what he said.
Oh my God. Lord.
The guy say he could have been in prison. A self style.
As we wind down, Master Carl, just to give some continuing encouragement to the people of Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Be resilient. Continue to focus on doing what you have to do. Right? This government is not prepared to help you to the end. right? But hold strain. God is good. Somehow, something will work out, right? And I pray and hope that very soon the government wisdom, they will use their wisdom and start giving the assistance that is needed to you and to the youth arm of the NNP. Continue to do the good work that you've been doing in Karakou, delivering service to the people of Karakou who need it. We have to remain together. We have to stay strong. We have to continue to help our brothers and sisters in Karakou and Petit Martinique and to the north of our country. Right? It is a must.
You tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, ear to ear. For their own abuses, they keep making